been a big week for President Trump's cabinet-level nominees. Former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard was confirmed as Director of National Intelligence on Wednesday, and yesterday, one-time Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was confirmed as the new Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. Every Republican except one, Kentucky's Mitch McConnell, voted to confirm the nominees. Kennedy's confirmation was particularly important to the pro-life movement. In a statement we released following the Senate vote, Priests for Life National Director Frank Pavone said that for decades, the abortion industry has gotten a free pass as research about the devastating health impact of abortion is either impeded or buried. An even-handed commitment to making America healthy again will expose and stop the devastating impact of abortion, Pavone said, adding he's confident RFK will tackle the issue honestly. A legal tug-of-war continues between Louisiana and New York after a New York abortionist prescribed and then mailed abortion pills to a woman in Louisiana, who then forced her teenage daughter to take the pills to end a very much wanted pregnancy. A grand jury indicted the abortionist for sending the pills into a state where nearly all babies are protected from abortion, and yesterday, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry signed an extradition order to bring the abortionist, Margaret Carpenter, to the state to face the charges. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has vowed to protect Carpenter, saying, "I will not be signing an extradition order that came from the governor of Louisiana. Not now, not ever." The girl who was forced to abort her baby suffered a medical emergency during the chemical abortion and had to be treated in a hospital. Meanwhile, in Texas, the same abortionist has been fined $100,000 for prescribing deadly abortion pills to a woman in Dallas. Texas did not file criminal charges against Carpenter, instead accusing her in a civil lawsuit of violating laws regulating abortion in the Lone Star State. A judge ordered Carpenter to stop sending abortion pills to women in Texas. The U.S. Supreme Court announced it would hear oral arguments April 2nd for a South Carolina case with major implications for the nation's biggest abortion seller. Carr versus Planned Parenthood South Atlantic asks the court to decide if the state's decision to defund abortion providers violates the Medicaid Act, which gives patients the right to choose their healthcare provider. Another case out of South Carolina concerns when a baby's heart begins to beat. Planned Parenthood said the state's heartbeat law protects babies from abortion at 6 weeks, but that the heart doesn't start beating until 9 or 10 weeks. This is their reasoning. The law refers to a fetal heartbeat, but babies remain in the embryo stage until the 10th week. Thus, there cannot be a fetal heartbeat at 6 weeks. Lawyers for the state said parsing the language this way ignores the intent of the legislature, which was to protect unborn human beings with beating hearts. A decision is expected from the South Carolina Supreme Court in a few months. U.S. Senator Tina Smith, a Democrat from Minnesota and a former Planned Parenthood vice president, has announced she will not run for re-election in 2026. Democrats are slightly panicked, with several, including Governor Tim Walz and Representative Ilhan Omar, considering a run. Several Republicans also are considering a run, with Jennifer DeJournay, executive director of the state Republican Party, predicting that Smith's departure opens a path for statewide victory for the Republicans. Studies published this week in the Journal of the American Medical Association indicated that infant mortality has increased in some of the states where most babies are protected from abortion. But 5 of the 16 states with strong protections for babies did not see any increase. And in fact, in Idaho, Missouri, West Virginia, and Wisconsin, the infant mortality rate decreased. Commenting on the, quote, excess births cited by the study, pro-life OBGYN Dr. Donna Harrison said all of these excess children who were born would have been killed in induced abortions. This means that anyone lamenting the results of this study isn't really concerned that these babies died. Rather, they wish they would have been killed earlier in the womb. Something to keep in mind when these studies are published, virtually every study whose results are favorable to abortion is performed by pro-abortion researchers with funding from foundations that push abortion as a means of population control. When I was a reporter, a wise editor told me to follow the money because it will lead you to the study's conclusion without fail. Last week, Priests for Life hosted 60 national and state pro-life leaders here at our Titusville headquarters. Over 3 days, participants delved in depth into many pro-life issues. As a result of those fruitful meetings, the leaders issued 2 joint letters, one urging Congress to defund Planned Parenthood, and the other thanking President Trump for the many concrete actions he has taken already on behalf of the unborn. You can read both of those letters on our website, endabortion.us. That's some of what's making news this week. Happy St. Valentine's Day, and thank you for tuning in. Please keep in mind always that life is the only choice.